All right. Good morning, everybody. Another day, another dollar. Or at least we hope, eh? But the market still looks strong. Doesn't give any signs of the pullback that we're expecting. And we got a few Feds out there talking today, I believe. Although I don't see them on the economic calendars. So let's look at what we got ahead of us today. That personal income came in. Forecast was expected down 3%. It's only down 2%. No big deal. Better than expected. Wow. Month-over-month personal spending didn't increase. They expected a 0.4% increase. But that's about it. Price index came in lower than expected. That's good for inflation. Core price came in a little bit lower than expected. All right, everything's not looking as hot as they thought they would. And that's, I mean, really inconsequential news today. Michigan inflation expectations. I guess everybody will be looking at that because inflation is the topic of interest. And next week, really nothing major. Except for non-farm payrolls, always a big one, and balance of trade. So the market's usually flat before non-farm payroll, and then this other one is pretty good too. Economic calendar. We're looking at Friday. Personal incomes, consumer sentiment. Oh, here, Loretta Master. There are 3 Feds: John Williams, Rosengreen, and Masters speak, but I don't really think it's going to affect the market much. I think everybody's kind of at ease with the inflation program, especially with Powell talking up it being all transient. But good morning, Mr. Williams, Miss Atkins, and Mr. Williams again. Welcome everybody, and don't forget to hit the like if you're liking me. So here's the daily chart, which we really looked at it last night in the wrap up, but we could look at it again. We still have that that bearish divergence, but we're going to have to break this low to trigger that. And right now, the futures aren't really looking like they're interested in breaking that low. We're going to open up about 7, and we're pretty much a parity. So you're talking about opening up at 71. And that's pretty much the high of the day. So we're right now, if we open up right here, we're challenging the high of the day. We still have a half hour to go. So this could very well gap up again or open flat. But we had quite a move this week. And I'm kind of thinking that folks might want to be taking profits today. And I would like to see it pull back. You know, I've been looking for that pullback all week, and it hasn't really come to fruition. So we shall see. We shall see. So let's look at a few of the stocks of interest. Amazon on the daily. It's a big negative bar. Looks like it's rolling over a little bit, but it's up 12. So, well, that's really inconsequential. So we'll have to see what it does. Let's see where we left off on the 60 on Amazon. Well, I mean, it gets very erratic. This is such a hard stock to look at, but that was a nice move up, and then the 60 minutes started fading off. So we'll see if it breaks that low right here. Then you can expect this thing to retrace and just maybe retrace about halfway on this. Yep. Let's see what Tesla has to say on the 60. Making a lower low. 60's kind of bearish. kind of neutral on the daily. So we'll see what happens. Got a good pop up here today at the open. Popped up 10 points. My goodness gracious. There we go. With that little gap right there. I mean, the momentum looks kind of flat, but I guess we can make a bullish argument for it, but it looks a little flat. The infamous AMC. It's down $1 in the pre-market. $5.67. What's this low right here? Did it break that low? Yeah, it's testing the low of the previous day. And the momentum is fading off. But you have this gap right here. So we may get a fill on this gap, or at least halfway. So we might see this thing down around 50 in the next few days. That ought to really put a twist in the ape underwear. Here's CLOV on the daily. Popped up and retraced. I mean, you could say you're bullish on that daily momentum. No, very bearish on the 60-minute momentum, though. And I don't know what these guys are doing in the pre-market. I'm not even looking at it that close. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is of interest to people. I'm just getting tired with these situations. I'd have to argue neutral on the 60 right now. Could be turning bearish, but right now I'd just argue in neutral on the 60. Bullish on the dailies. So we have this gap up in the daily on the S&P, and I'd like to see it fill that. I don't think a 33% retrace from off this run is a lot to ask or to expect. But she's strong, man. It looks like it's just going to continue pushing up. I mean, we'll just play it to the upside until it decides to do something else. Hey, Liz, welcome back. We've missed you. Well, you know what? I don't really follow that. So how about you share with me what the new short numbers are on AMC? And then we could talk about it. Hilmar. And good morning to you. Have they increased or have they decreased? And then I could tell you what I think of them. I mean, if you want me to talk about the validity of them, interest. You know what? Let me take a look at something, because those seem rather. I'm just looking something up. I'm just waiting for a screen to populate so I can get some insight into it, which it's really taking its time here. What's going on? Oh, here we go. So, well, you know what? Just what you wrote there, I'm not too clear on, because 18% is the loaned amount. That's how many shares are loaned off on what's available. But 18%, 91.35% shares on loan, 97.13 million shares out there. I don't know what the source of the information is, so I can't attest to the validity of it. It seems kind of contradictory, but has there been a substantial change from the last set of numbers? Well, the chat's probably behind, and the information's coming. So, look, my basic view is, if the numbers, I mean, you could argue both sides of the coin, really, because if the short interest is waning into this consolidation that you're having, then that could be upsetting, because the idea of the squeeze is that there's a lot of shorts out there, and you can you can blow them out and take advantage of their buying power to move, gain momentum, move the stock up, and you guys ultimately make money. So, but if the short, and these are professionals, and usually when you watch a market hit a high and then consolidate for a while, that's what's happening. Pros are really rolling out of things, into that buying power and into that consolidation, and taking advantage of that, and they nickel and dime it out. So, people could be mitigating the loss at this level, or what have you. And, so you're losing some of the buying power that's out there. Although you could look at it on the other side of the coin, that they're losing confidence in the ability to maintain that short. So, you could argue both sides of the coin. I mean, ultimately, this company doesn't make any money, So, I mean, I'm sure they're not walking away from the short. They just might be mitigating their risk and waiting for a more opportune time to short it. I mean, if you guys could force this thing up, they love it even better for a short, because it becomes more vulnerable. So then on the other, it's growing, I believe. It's growing. Okay, so on the other side of the coin, you got to realize you're talking about professionals, right? So these aren't retail traders who get caught up in hype and respond to emotion and things like that. So if it's growing, you got to kind of wonder if some savvy folks are seeing the weakness in it, and they're willing to put on more risk. They're not averaging up. I promise you that. No professional trader averages up and throws good money after bad. These guys are either looking at it like a new situation. It's really a good situation to short. Well, yeah, that's basically it. They're not going to average up. So, they're not, they're not fighting with you guys and being emotional about this. So it's risk reward and risk assessment, and they're analyzing the risk, and they may think that you guys are losing momentum. On the other side of the coin, if there are more shorts going in and everybody can organize their buying and push into it, then at one point they're going to mitigate their loss, and if there's more shorts out there, that's just more buying power in your favor. So that would be wonderful. But I mean, I just hope everybody realizes that this is what these people do for a living. So they could carry whatever margin calls they have. They could carry the maintenance on it, the interest on the margin, if you have a good understanding of the whole process. So that's fine. And I promise you that nobody put their last dollar in it. I mean, if a hedge fund closes down, it's because their business model is a short, and they see retail traders out there messing with the shorts, and they just don't like the business model anymore. So they close their hedge fund down. Or these situations are getting a lot of attention from the regulators, and as a professional, you don't want regulators crawling up your ass. So even if you're clean, it's a lot of expense, it's a lot of cost, and regulators are not paid to go into your firm and say, oh, they're fine. They'll find something, however ridiculous it is. I mean, I remember one time that I was cited because my website had a man standing at the top of a mountain with his hands up in the air saying, conquer the markets. And they cited me because they said that was tantamount to a guarantee. So, they came in, they audited my firm, which is regular. They do it every 2 years. They couldn't find anything, so they had to pick on something, which obviously I fought that because it was just insulting. Here you got guys having movies made about them, about what they do in the finance, and over here they're picking on me because I have a guy standing on a mountain with his arms up in the air. It was so ridiculous. So cool, Hilmar. That's the idea, man. I want you here. Hopefully you make a lot of money, and then we could teach you how to do it professionally. Short interest, it's growing, I believe. I'm new to this, so sorry, I'm not asking it correctly. No, it's cool, man. It's cool. I may not be understanding it correctly. You might be asking it. It's a big industry. There are a lot of different philosophies. Oh, you're from Iceland. Wow. A descendant of the Vikings, eh? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Hit the like, spread the word, and stop in from time to time. I appreciate you asking questions and helping out with the content. Look at this market. I've got one income trade that is just giving me a hard time. Got a little Jimi Hendrix in my ear. It's a bright and sunny day, but man, what a cold January. So what else is going on with my free folk? Miss Liz, welcome back. Guess you've been running around chasing your 2-year-old, eh? Kind of hard to listen to trading streams. Is she in the no phase where everything's no? If it's actually a she. So we got 21 minutes to the market open. You know what? We didn't even look to see what was of interest on CNBC. Let's do that right now. Oh, and I want to remind everybody. Actually, I'm going to wrap it up early, around 12 o'clock today, and I'm packing up and heading for the high seas. So Monday's going to be interesting. It's going to be the first time that I'm trying to stream from there, and we'll see how effective that is. But I'm committed to the channel, and if it doesn't work, I'll probably head back up to the mountains and figure out a solution for that, because I definitely will lose my mind if I can't be out on the water. Oh, look at Virgin Galactic. Whoa, jumps 20%. Yeah, I was talking about that, right? That's a position I'm long, and I just love the company. I love the concept, and I think that we are now. Oh my goodness! It's up $8. I think we are now in space travel where we were with EVs back in the maybe late 90s, early 2000s. So that's a bad boy I'm putting away. And I think these guys got cleared by the FAA to take commercial passengers. And they're not making money, but they're at the cusp. And it's really about the R&D than the money making. Holy smokes! That's exciting. See, that's how you make the cash. You buy good companies, you wait, and every once in a while you hop into these situations that just blow the doors off. And, why did I reduce that? I was getting involved with the company. Oh, there we go. I was getting involved with it before March. Probably around the $25 range, and then when it went down to like the $15 range, I got into it kind of heavy. Just really liked that opportunity, and it was just based on the fact that he postponed his launch, the test run before his commercial run. So everybody just got emotional, brought that stock down, and it just seemed like a good opportunity. And then once it bounced off that 15, forget about it. It just kept climbing and climbing. So today it's 48. Well, right now it's 48.19. I wonder if we'll see $50 on that bad boy. Boy. Guess it's steak tonight. Oh, so here we go. Key inflation indicators post biggest year-over-year gain in nearly 3 decades. Okay, yeah, we know that. There's Virgin Galactic. No. Musk is doing a little hype on Bitcoin. But looks like inflation is the topic of interest. And we're definitely going to open up today. This is going to be a little painful. Anybody else out there want me to take a look at a stock or something? We've got about 6 minutes, 5 minutes before the market opens. Happy to look at things for you. Actually, let me roll everybody over to the S&P. Is good. Virgin Galactic. My projection, man, I don't do projections. I mean, I guess it's not making any money. I mean, even if you looked at the fundamentals, what could your projections do? I mean, in situations like this, in situations like Bitcoin, these things have value that we care to give it. You can't really figure a value on it because it's just not making money. I mean, look at the cost of the seats and things like that. And I really can't break down what NASA is throwing them because a lot of that stuff is classified. So it's really hard to figure. So it's going to be an interesting company to work with fundamentally going forward because, some of the stuff is covert, right? Because what's happening is the U.S. Or NASA and other world government agencies are subcontracting out space work now. So these guys are basically going to be shuttling equipment, materials, astronauts to the space stations, right? So NASA and other governments first were in the business of launching rockets, but the goal was to build space stations. Now they have their space stations, but they don't want to deal with the rockets anymore. So they're subcontracting all of that out. So that's what SpaceX is about, and Virgin Galactic. So Amazon has a company too now, which is why I feel that Bezos stepped out of Amazon, because I think he's going to focus more on the space company. But I mean, that's the way of the future, man. We're gonna be colonizing planets. We may not see it in our lifetime, or some of you guys may, but I mean, that's where we're headed. That's what this industry is about. So I can't really make a projection. Branson is a pretty good CEO. He has he's respected, and you don't see a lot of nonsense about the guy. So you could see that he'll gain confidence in countries. I mean, he's a knight, so obviously he's well regarded over in England, and I mean, he's in the loop, so it's encouraging. So I like the company. Somebody asked me to look at something. OCGN. All right, I'll just take a look on the daily since you're not giving me a time frame. Bang, bang, bang. Man. So, I mean, we're obvious. You know what? Really simple. I would be bullish as long as we hold above that trend line. It's coming up right now. You have this gap. I mean, this is a very choppy day-to-day situation. So, I mean, you could just maintain a bullish position as long as it's above that trend line right now. And this is kind of the first leg. You made a higher high, a higher low, and now you're making a higher high. You should make a higher low again and a higher high, and it would be in an uptrend. You're probably going to hit a little congestion right around this gap right here of 929. But that's the short of the long. I mean, if I was trading it, I don't see an entry. This could be considered a bull flag, and that's it. The horses are on the track. And we just popped up. And there we go. Well, let's wake up over here. Let's see what we got planned. I can't even figure where resistance is going to be because we're at another all-time high. $10 already. Son of a Siberian snake charmer. Yeah, I'd say 82 might give us a little resistance because that's going to be the 127 mark. Entirely overvalued now, but I've said it before, markets can remain irrational longer than most people could stay liquid. Just watching the market, trying to get a feel for what it's going to do. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Oh, goodness gracious. I screwed up a little bit. I'm just doing a little work here. 4110s. Hmm. CCIV. Wow, 145s. Okay, sorry about that. Just a little work going on over here. So CCIV. Looks like it could be putting in daily divergence. So you would have to wait for that for tomorrow. So I guess if you're interested in it for the day, we'll just look at the 60. And looks like it's putting in a divergence here too. I mean, there's no opportunity to get involved. I would remain neutral on it and just watch that divergence. If it trades back in 19 minutes and breaks this low, then it'll trigger that divergence. So really it just has to break the previous bar to trigger the divergence. It may move up further, but it looks like it's going to continue the divergence. Once it breaks its previous bar, then the divergence triggers. But I would remain neutral because it has that divergence there. Got about 15 minutes left on that 30-minute bar. We got a doji right there, kind of indecisive. 60-minute is still very bullish. Wow, the market just dried up, like it just doesn't know which way to go. So what are we looking at over here? Composite still pushing up to all-time highs. Russell's pushing up to all-time highs. It's probably just going to drag the S&P up. It looks like energy is fading off right now, and that's probably what's causing the S&P to sell off a little bit. But it looks like it's probably going to roll around and join everybody. Amazon is selling off. Tesla's up. Oh, and AMC is taking a little shellacking. Everybody's going into the weekend drinking on this one. Nah, it's only down $1.50. It's no big deal. Nothing bloody. Nothing going wrong. So on the S&P on the 30-minute, I'm remaining bearish as long as we stay below this trend line. Oh, and there you go, popping out of that trend line. I'm getting bullish. Composite's going to make a new high. Momentum on the 5 is still very strong on the SPX, so you could look for that breakout to the upside. Amazon's not helping the case any, but Tesla's definitely dragging it up. Composites made a new high and it just turned around. Might bring the S&P down. Well, it's definitely giving it a little weight, keeping it from running. So we're going to say we're positive right now until it breaks right there, which it's testing. Still, whoa, look at that Amazon. Somebody had an interest in Amazon yesterday. I know they were talking to me about it. I think it might have been Mr. Ditter. What are we looking at? 950? Is this our range for the day? What do we have here? I wonder if that composite is going for a gap fill, because it was pushing up higher and now it's making a move for the low of the day. Might be looking to make a gap fill. S&P doesn't seem to be following it though. I mean, we're still in an uptrend. We made this higher high, higher low. Looks like we're trying to make a higher high. Could be entering a bit of a consolidation. What's pulling it up? Financials are moving up, so that's supporting the S&P. Energy looks like it's moving up too, so that should be supporting the S&P. In 5 minutes still positive, but putting in some topping bars right here. Let's see what she wants to do today. Tesla's making a gap fill. Probably get another buck out of it before it turns around. Apple's down. Microsoft's down. Doesn't know what it wants to do. Getting a divergence on the 1 minute. So really, there's no trade until we break out of the SPX out of this channel, which it's just a 6-point channel. So shouldn't be a hard break once everything decides on which way it's going to go. But I'm pretty confident that this is the mid-morning channel. See what that next 30-minute bar does for us. Looks like Virgin Galactic gave back some of its gains. Good morning, Anth. It's another rule I have. If I don't get a good night's sleep, I don't trade the next day. We've got 4 minutes till the opening range close. It looks like we're just consolidating right now. There's no news ahead of us, just a whole bunch of Feds talking. Pretty aggressive move for that channel low. Well, that's my rule, man. It's not your rule. Could be a bear flag building on this 30-second chart. And if it breaks that low of 72.90, well, it wasn't 72.90, but 72.30, then away it goes. Nope, not much going on. Just got a little 6-point channel right here. We opened up high, and we did close that gap halfway. So that could be all we can expect from it. But we are making a move for that low again. Might get a strong retrace right here. Russell made a double top and then pulled back, but it's not even close to the low of the day. That 5-minute still hasn't rolled, and there's a big bottoming tail on the 5-minute now. Get these two bottoming tails. It looks like they're just trying to force this baby up. It's warming up mighty quick out there. Looks like the Russell's trying to do that gap fill. It's right at the low of the day for the Russell. Composite broke its low of the day, actually turned negative. Dow's the strongest out of all the markets. Might be the day for the correction. A little consolidation. Yeah, I was thinking about that. You know, maybe just throwing a few videos out there that everybody could see when I am floating around. Man, is this thing going to break to the upside? One minute's turning positive, 30 seconds positive. Might be a double top on the 2, but a lot of tail to the downside on the 5. It looks like we're going to make a break for the high. Yeah, the S&P is just strong. I mean, the composite's off, but every time it turns, it just runs the S&P up. Man, what a drag. Look at that strong bear flag building, bull flag building on the 1 minute right there. Whoop. Delta just keeps climbing. No, and it doesn't really get scary. I mean, I know the boat. If you know your equipment, I mean, if things start breaking off the boat, then yeah, I'm thinking I'd get pretty scared. But I know the equipment, and I'm pretty confident. I mean, it gets uncomfortable sometimes, but I'm a fair weather sailor too. I'm not really trying to impress anybody. I watch the weather and trade when it's sail when it's appropriate. Ah, yeah, I'm going to be making lots of mistakes today, huh? There's a double top on the 30. Looks like a double top on the 1 minute. Just need that 5 minute to roll around. A little early for the reversal, but I think I'm going to take that. I'm taking one off right here. I think we're going to revisit that bottom. Got my stop at a break even. I'm out. Man, just can't get a runner. assisted this. Yeah, that crash was that collapse was unfortunate. They pulled a lot of bodies out of there. Man, we got that deviation on the 30. I'm just getting spanked. Deviation on the 60. No sign of turning around though. This baby's just going to keep running. Looks like they're going for that 81.76. And then the 300. I didn't take that breakout. Only moved a buck. I'm going to take this break right here on the 280s. If it breaks. It's a little early actually for the retrace, if we're going to get a retrace. I'm in. My stop's over the high. Could be a bear flag on the 5-minute. Come on, baby. Not much going on. Well, looks like you're up on the gossip, man. There goes that 5-minute bear. Trigger it. Oh, I'm out. That 5-minute is still bullish, but we're getting divergence on the 1 and 2. Yeah, this market's got legs. I think I'm going to take those 80s again. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, not much going on. I mean, we're just grinding our way up, and it's difficult to take the trade to the upside because it's just the grind, and we're actually getting ready for the midday reversal, and I'm seeing divergences, but I mean that 5 minute won't roll over and get negative. But if you see that 5 minute roll over and that momentum start fading off, I mean, you can see it doesn't have the energy that it had earlier, but it just keeps grinding its way up. Composite's just grinding its way up too. It was negative 20 before, now it's up 12. Just keeps grinding and grinding. We're looking for that 82 mark. Oh, look at that, we just popped. Well, that was encouraging. Got a nice divergence, got a nice hammer. If it triggers that hammer, I'm going to take that. Nope, it's got the strength. That composite just keeps grinding up. It's dragging the S&P up. I mean, here you have a good indication that it should roll over, and it just won't roll over. So what I'm looking at is this divergence right here, and you get these two tails to the upside, and this is a nice hammer, but it's eating up the tail, and that's because the composite is just grinding higher and higher. I mean, financials are trading off, and energy's trading off. Composites, I mean, the 30-second is, well, it's kind of flattening out. going along the 80s puts. Got a 1-point stop. No. Oh, this may be the mid-morning reversal there, folks. Got to find a little support right here. 5-minute finally rolled. Might put a double top in on the 5-minute. I took one off for $1. Which is a $0.50 on the contracts, and I'm risking $0.50 on my other two positions and my other 2/3. So if you're here and enjoying this silence, hit the subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I drop some more quiet videos out there, and hit the like because it goes a long way for me. We really can't expect much out of this move. See if we can get to that 75. Might give us a double top on this 5-minute. Got a bear flag on the 1-minute. Nice momentum to the downside. 5 minutes rolled over. Got a bear flag on the composite that's triggering. That might help bring this baby down. Nope. It retraced. It's a lot of profits out there, man. I can't imagine this baby doesn't pull back today. Apple's up for the day. Microsoft's down a little bit for the day. Not a whole lot going on in the techs. Tesla's making a move. Amazon's down 40 for the day. That flag just doesn't want to trigger. There it goes. Did the test. Come on, keep pushing down. Come on. Taking another off right here. So I got half a buck and a buck. I'm leaving the rest to just run. See if I can get to that 50% mark. Five-minute bear flag would be nice. That would promote a long move. So what's going on? Anybody got any questions? Anything about trading? No, I would like that 5 minute. I'd like to just stay right around here for the next 3 minutes. Make a nice bear flag on that 5 minute, and you could carry that down to the 50%. Hey, Drew. You need Tesla at 687? Well, here it is, bro. Looks like you got what you needed. Oh, it's triggering too soon. Come on, don't trigger, man. Make a nice flag for me. So this is the mid-morning retrace. Just not that aggressive. I've got 2 off. 2/3 of my position off. I got 1/3. I'm just working. And I got the stop at the break even, but I think I might start just following these tails. These pivots. Nokia. I'm in a bit of a trade right now, buddy. But if you don't mind waiting a minute, because it'll probably bounce off that trend line and knock me out. What are we looking like? That momentum's still negative. I wonder if I remove that ray, if it'll drop. Maybe my line is blocking the market. Go ahead, look, nothing below you. Drop. That's pretty interesting, though, right? Nothing really there, but that ray I put in this morning, that trend line I put in this morning, it's kind of respecting. Oh, yeah, baby. No, come on, just keep going. 2 minutes negative. Well, you know what? We said our target was the 50. I'm going to take my last off right here. So I picked up about 3 points on the last third. So I got half a point, and 3 points. And we're back inside the opening range. So this becomes a pretty good resistance. Let's see how it respects it. So I closed my position. Figured that 50 was enough. That 50% retracement was enough. Doesn't look like it's getting very aggressive. Look at that, man. This is the daily. with these two gaps. I mean, tell me this doesn't look vicarious. If we close like that, it'd be really interesting Monday. And okay, yeah, we could do an okay now. You still with me, Wyatt? Let's take a look at an okay for you. Nokia. I mean, I like the company. Well, obviously the momentum is bearish on the daily. Got that little pop up. You got to see what that bar looks like at the close. If you're trading it intraday right now, oh, I don't like that at all. Right? You know what we call that? A shooting star. So, I mean, obviously the bar's got to close, and then if it triggers, it will trigger when if it breaks the low of this bar. But you have 9 minutes. You have to see where that closes. And that's what I'm hoping for. On the SPX. Back when you were in your company, do you remember what the average salary or a trader would be? My guys all worked on commission, so there was no salary. So if they didn't earn, they didn't eat. It was that simple. So, I mean, it was all over the board, but really, and yet, you know, I'm talking, you know, before 2011, I'd expect at the minimum, a broker do about $30,000 a month. So his end would be about $15,000 a month. And if you didn't kind of pull those numbers, you kind of got chopped up in the mix and maybe moved on to someplace else. You probably just didn't fit in the culture either, because my guys were very aggressive. But I mean, I had kids who were like 24, 25 years old doing $250,000 a month, $500,000 a month. You know, their end would be half of that. The traders, the same thing, you know. I guess we had traders who went home with $10,000 a month. But for the most part, you know, I figure on average, the guys were probably taking home like $30,000 a month. But who the hell wants to be on a trading floor for less than that, you know? Yeah, they didn't make out. Apprentice would, you know, when they were coming in and they were trainees, we would pay them. I mean, we basically called it a stipend because it was just really pocket change, just so they didn't pass out from hunger while they were working. Yeah, I mean, the whole industry was like that. I don't think that's the culture anymore. I mean, you have a bunch of pansies now. So, you know, it's not like people want to live that kind of life. I think now that a lot of people work on a salary and a small bonus based on their performance. What's going on with this 5? Okay, this 5 is still negative, man. Come on, stay negative. Roll down. One minute still looks negative. Might be flattening out. That 2 minute looks mighty negative too. So let me just show you what I'm looking at. I'm just watching this sell off. I'm not in the position anymore, but it's in my best interest to have it sell off. So that obviously is very negative. It's pushing down and it's not sloping around yet. But we haven't even made a double top. That's a single top on the 5 minute, and single tops aren't common, but this is the mid-morning reversal. So any double top after this kind of outside the game, it's probably just going to make its move up again if it heads for the high again. I would like to see it just continue trading off today. I mean, even closing down, is that too much to ask? The 1 minute you could see is kind of just leveling out right here, although it just broke later. That's good. So the 1 minute turned negative again. I like that. I don't know if we looked at the 2 minute. Kind of dizzy. And this is an inflection. It's actually pushing down kind of nicely there. There's a hammer right there that triggered and then failed. Can I elaborate why I'm looking for a double top? Well, I'm not really looking for a double top. I'm suspecting there would be a double top. But this is a pretty good move. So when I set up the chart this morning, I went to the bottom and I had and I did my fib and figured 50% retrace would be good, and then you can make a double top. This is kind of aggressive. You don't normally see a single top, right? Usually there's a double top, and then they turn around. So I'm just watching for the double top, but I mean we're approaching the open. We did half a gap fill, so I don't know if we're going to come back and fill the whole gap. I mean, it's early in the day, so anything could happen. We might have just popped out of the opening range, and now, just like we did yesterday, we just zipped around in that channel. We're probably building a channel again. No, here's yesterday, where for the most of the day we were just back and forth in that channel, which it was a fairly decent sized channel. Well, no, it was like 6 points. We got a small channel again, and it looks like we might be zipping around in that small channel. Yes, a double top is a test of the top. So it made a high, and then it came back and it tested it. So on the 32nd, you can argue that this is the double top right here. You see where we came up a little bit and then pulled down, and you just have this divergence. And you could see the divergence was building, which I kept whining about because it just wouldn't trigger. And yet, we picked up a buck on that divergence right over here. And so we had like 2 trades where we picked up a buck, and then it snapped back on us. So you could see the divergence here, right? Here's a high. Here's the high on the momentum. Here's a higher high and a lower high on the momentum, thus the divergence. Then it looks like it gave a little retest. It tried to test that again, and the momentum kept fading off, and then we had the break. And I believe this is where we entered, because 79.51 was what was on my mind. And this is the move that it made. I got out like $2 earlier, because I was just going with that 50% retrace. So a double top is a test of the high and with a divergence on the momentum. And that's what you look for a reversal of a trend. And when you get that double top with the divergence, you take the break. You could take the break of the previous bar, where my crosshairs are, or you could take the break of the pivot low. And that's what I held out for, because, I mean, all week I've been getting having it thrown back in my face. So I just wanted it to prove that it was going to be a good divergence, right? So this is where you suspect the divergence, and this is where it actually is a divergence, because it's making a new low. So I took the conservative entry on this one. Mm. And that's trading. Well, that's all right, man. Just keep going at it however you want to go at it. And it may present itself to you. You know, like your eye will get accustomed to it. You know, whatever it takes. I mean, a double top is a double top. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the mechanics or just recognizing the pattern. One way or another, you're going to recognize a double top. So just go with it. Don't fight whatever's happening. If you have to break it down with the mechanics, that's cool. One way or another, you're going to arrive. So now we have a bottom on the 30, right? So you could look for a double bottom. You could see that momentum push up. So it might make a double bottom on this move. Could be consolidating here. Composite looks like it might be putting in a double bottom. The Russell is just consolidating back and forth. Again, for everybody who's late, we're going to wrap it up at 12 today, because I'm going to pack up and head for my ship. I believe my boat has come in. My ship has come in. No, you know you should be giving it to me. So this is, it looks like it's making the double bottom right here. The 5 is still bearish. 2 looks like it's flattening out a little bit, and the 1's rolling around a little bit. And we just rolled over onto a new 30-minute bar. See, these are making exciting bars, but we always get, I mean, at least this past week, it's just come around and disappointed us. So you have these nice tails to the upside, but they all refuse to break. So now we're at this new 60-minute bar, and I bet we'll come back up to that 77 area. But if we break that 72, we have a good chance of starting the downward move. And I would like to see like the 249 over the next 2 or 3 days of next week. See, like, look at that baby. I mean, that could close in a classic shooting star. But if you're listening, and I'm not boring the hell out of you, hit the like. I know it's not very exciting. It's just I'm focusing on the market, and I'm not much for banter when I'm focused. This is making like a triple bottom now. So, I mean, we have this high, but this could be a trend reversal breakout. A micro trend, rather. I'm sorry. It also could be a trend reversal breakout, meaning the trend reverses and then it breaks. So really, it was the break of this to move up. But this could also be a micro trend. It looks like that 5-minute is rolling around a little bit. So this might be the end of this downward move. It's not running, but everything's just grinding these days. We have a bottom on the composite, and it looks like it might test that. If it breaks that low, it might come back. Now you could kind of negate that reverse trend, that micro trend. So we found support at the open, and we bounced off of it. It'd be interesting if we try to make another move on that. Finding support on that trend line. We have some tails to the upside on the 2-minute, and the 1-minute looks rather indecisive. Could be a bear flag on the 5. Trigger at 74, 71. Yeah, we're just going to do that grind back. Woo! Virgin Galactic is up 14 for the day. That's a runner. Wow, the volume has gone through the roof too in it. Yeah, I don't know. Are you equating yourself to a monkey there, Anth? Yeah, don't worry about thinking about it too hard, because the bottom line is you're going to go through all sorts of processes, and you're going to come to the right conclusion, the end conclusion. I mean, that's just what happens with experience, you know, and we'll all take different routes to that conclusion, different paths to that conclusion. But there's one conclusion. It's a double top with a divergence on the momentum. And that will be the end understanding of it. Yeah, that 5 minutes rolling around, man. Boo. Wow. So that was a good return right there. So this is what I'm thinking. We're getting a double top. But, I mean, we have a low here, high here, low. So we could still argue that's in an uptrend. But it looks like we're going to end up with a divergence on it. That's pretty fucking, whoops, excuse me. That's pretty strong. Well, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, Anthony. Have a clear understanding. Yeah, I feel you on that. Oh, just rolling back a little bit. Yeah, I like Nokia too, Wyatt. Or I did back in the day. Then I was kind of prone towards HTC, but now HTC stopped making phones, and they just focus on virtual reality games. Yeah, we're just in this range right now. Even the 2-minute didn't give us a double top, man. Yeah, I don't think I had a problem with HTC as an operating system. I think it worked on Android, didn't it? Initially, it was on the Windows platform, and then I think Windows stopped making the platform for phones, and then it went to Android. Yeah, I use Samsung too. Yeah, that's the Android operating system. I actually maybe about 2 or 3 months ago got rid of my last HTC for the Samsung. But HTC was so advanced that I think I had that last phone since 2013. I mean, aside from having 6 lenses on a camera, there was nothing, that my phone didn't have that the newer technologies were coming up with. Maybe a little more storage, but that was pretty much about it. Yeah, there were different buttons and stuff, right? And then their proprietary software that they stuff down your throat. Oh, we got a bull flag on the 5-minute right here. Man, look at that bar. Wow. Well, I'm not long. Any calls? This was a good divergence right here. You could have taken that break right here at the 75.46. I'm watching the high. I would probably take a break of the high. Can it? Yeah. I mean, the general sentiment is bullish. Could watch this flag on the 2-minute. Oh, grabbed the wrong shot. Composite's just in compression right now. It's kind of just giving the S&P room to run. Really? Only 500? A whole lot of people stormed that Capitol. So that flag triggered, and it failed. Let's see what happens if it breaks this. Well, it didn't fail, but if it'll fail if it traces right here. Breaks that. Man, that Russell has some strength. Just keeps pushing. Composite turned around, went negative again. And look at that. I step away for 2 seconds and everything takes off. That's funny. Gonna get me in all sorts of trouble there, Anthony. Just on the grind up. Boy, that Virgin Galactic is just running. I don't understand your question. Do you know if a bank will allow you to take out M20K in cash? I think since SARS, they might ask you what it's for, but I mean, you don't have to present anything. You could just say purchase, car, art, go into the casinos. But yeah, it's part of the anti-money laundering program. So we're grinding up, but if you look at this 5 minute, I mean, there's not a whole lot of momentum on this grind up. But even if we took the low from yesterday, that's a pretty big retrace. It's 38%. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of participation. I mean, it's not ripping up. But nonetheless, it is grinding up. We look at the 30. It's just flat momentum, man. SARS. What a pain in the butt that was, man. Once they instituted that, then there was a ton more paperwork we had to do in the back office. So ridiculous. I would argue that if they didn't let you take your money out, people would lose a lot of faith in banks. Nah, I don't. I don't vote. Sometimes I get those proxies mailed to me, but really I just toss them. I don't really participate in that. When you're like you own 10% of it and stuff like that, then I'm sure you take an interest. But I mean, I'm not looking to run the companies. If I like what they're doing, I invest in the company. If I don't like it, I no invest. You could see this divergence here on this 30-second. Doesn't mean it's going to turn around, but it should just consolidate. I mean, there's not a lot of strength in the grind up. It's just, I've seen this before where it just keeps grinding. But if everybody's listening, and I know I'm not too entertaining today, but if you hit those likes, I'd really appreciate it. I like to be liked. Even hit the subscribe and the bell, and you'll know when I put out training videos and things of that nature. And sometimes we can have a lot of excitement in here. We made a few bucks in the morning. But the market's fading off. It's Friday. And I think I have a little bit of a bias that's kind of interfering with my trading right now. It's just we've moved so much to the upside that I'm looking for this pullback that appears to never come. I had a target of 82.48. We came pretty close, but the day's not over. I mean, this thing could take off this afternoon. But the reason I have that bias is we have this divergence right here, but it doesn't trigger until we break the previous day's low. And we really haven't had, I mean, this is the only consolidation we had right here, which was really just a flag. Really aggressive move. I mean, I'm really expecting at least back to this 42.64, 42.65. We shall see. We shall see. Doesn't look like it's happening now. That's a pretty strong 60-minute bar. After these two topping tails. Yeah, I don't think that first bounce was a squeeze. I think that was just a hype, and everybody jumped into it and pushed it up. I don't think that shorts were covering on that. I mean, that baby is definitely lingering. And, you know, when you're waiting for a play for a certain amount of time, you could kind of figure it's not going to happen. But they'll come up with all sorts of reasons why it didn't happen, like, you know, dark pool and conspiracy and I don't know, maybe Trump bought up all the shares and delved them out or lent the shorters money, you know, some sort of conspiracy. Or the Democrats stole the ballots or whatever. And if that doesn't work, then they come up with angels came down and did something. But yeah, if you look at that, I'm looking at a 60-minute. I mean, it's just consolidating up here, you know? And the momentum just keeps fading and fading. I didn't really watch the GameStop play. I mean, you know, other than maybe reading an article or what have you about it. But I don't recall if it took this long. Let's see if I could load data. I think they're still looking at GameStop, right, for a squeeze. Oh, look at that. It's down around 203. And you got to consider, you know, people bought this at 600. Well, yeah, that didn't really take long. Well, yeah, here it was around $6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Within 6 months, it was up around 500. I guess 500 is where it peaked out. $483 I'm looking at. I thought I saw 600 on this thing once. I guess not. Yeah, that might have been the move, Anthony. You know, from the $4 to the 70. You know, and they could have faded into the 70. The shorters could have faded into that 70. Yeah, it looks like the market's just falling asleep. Yeah, are they similar? Yeah, well, you know what? If it doesn't appear that they have the buying power to squeeze it, and they put a little bit of buying power in and bring it up, the shorters will probably see that light volume and fade it, and then just throw it back. So I don't know how many people are going to make money on that move, because these guys talk about buying in more, you know, averaging up. If it comes down, you know, average the cost down. I mean, so they're just kind of eating up their buying power. Hmm. It's just 30-minute rolling over. It seems to be. Oh, really? If they're just buying, yeah, so they're not participating in it. So what's going to force that short if everybody's just buying calls? Nobody's going to call that stock. Yeah, no doubt. Up 500,000. Yeah. He's not an X, he's a distant lover. If he didn't make that mill, then he'd be the X. Or that 500,000. At the money weeklies, huh? Dreary, dreary market. Buying just faded out. So later this afternoon, I guess some big boys will be able to do whatever they want with this thing. And I'll tell you, man, they're fighting to keep this market up. That's for sure. Looks like the market just tapped off that trading range. It's bouncing right back up. That opening range, rather, the opening range high. Just bouncing right back up. Yeah, that's cool. If she's just playing with market money, that's good. And yeah, as it pushes up, she should just harvest a little profits. I mean, it's really dragging out. It's taken a long time. And you might, instead of making home runs, you might just want to take what you got if you have a nice piece of change. Yep, that's true. Loop and loop. Yeah, this is just pushing up. All right, folks, that's going to be it for me. I got to pack up all my gear and head out for the water. Hopefully, this all works out and we could broadcast from there. So Monday's going to be interesting. I hope you all visit. If you're listening, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like. I appreciate it. If I can't stream off the back of the boat, then I'm packing everything up and I'm coming back to the mountains and I'll figure something out. Maybe call Alon and tell him to get busy with those satellites. So yeah, you too. I appreciate it, Carrie. Have a really nice weekend, and I hope to see all you guys on Monday. And just everybody protect their downside and good luck trading. And if you haven't hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. There's a PayPal link down there if you want to support the channel. And thanks to everybody who has supported the channel. I really appreciate it. A vote of confidence goes a long way. And just let me know what I could do to improve the channel. If there's something you want to see, keep your eye out for those trading videos. And I'll talk with you Monday.